Not that I didn't like the last one. But that She-Hulk right there, that is champion level She-Hulk. Let's do this. So I don't have a huge history with She-Hulk. I haven't even watched that She-Hulk series that came out on Disney Plus or whatever. I'll get to it. At some point I'll get to it. I'm not in a rush for it. Regardless of anything that's been said about it, until I see it, I don't have an opinion. But that being said, my only real introduction and time with She-Hulk is literally the Fantastic Four. That is it. In fact, that's why I wanted her. That's why I bought her up there when I bought the gray one. Because I wanted the Super Scroll. And I said, how am I going to get that? I'm going to have to get that entire wave. I like that entire wave. That's fine. That gives me a She-Hulk on the shelf. Not necessarily the one that I'm gunning for, but it'll be good regardless. And so I had no problem picking it up. Here, this is the one I know, though. Kind of. Rather, this buck, I hope, leads me to the one I know. Because as far as I can tell, this right here is the key to getting the classic costume. It's the key to getting the one that we currently have right here. It's the key to getting the Fantastic Four costume. And maybe something else as well. Let's open her. I'm not even necessarily worried about the box because, as you can see, that's it right there. That's what we got. It's pretty good, but let's just open her right up and get right into it. And there she is. Simple enough, right? It's exactly what I was hoping for. Exactly what I was hoping for. Look at her. So, she has an open hand, more like a posing hand. You could claim it to be a gripping hand. She also comes with fists, and she comes with basically a set of gripping hands or posing hands or whatever you want to call them. Fists, this broken gun, which is pretty cool, which if I'm not mistaken is actually from one of the comic book covers, but I don't claim to remember what one. But basically, she can hold her broken gun, or she can do a pose where she's actually breaking it, or whatever you want to do. And now, let's look her over. So, one, nice muscles, right? Pretty important for She-Hulk. She does. She has real nice sculpting and everything along here. It works very well. She does look muscular while she still looks feminine, so she's got that old classic She-Hulk look about her, where She-Hulk was very much let me back the camera off a little bit. She-Hulk was very much a very strong but still very feminine figure. And here, that's exactly what we got. I mean, literally, it couldn't have been more perfect. I don't claim to know any of her body proportions necessarily, and I'm pretty sure it depends on who was drawing her. So I'm not going to claim that anything here is necessarily right or wrong. I'm going to say this. It all works for me. This, to me, feels like She-Hulk. It feels like this is exactly what she's supposed to be. I'm not having any problems here whatsoever. I will say that she's big. And it's noticeable. I am having a little bit of trouble with her standing up, but I think that's more just taking her right out of the package, because you saw right there I got her to stand up with no problem whatsoever. There's a little bit of an edge on her foot. I can't seem to get this foot to lie flat, but I'm sure that after I play with her for a while, move her around, find poses and things like that, I really don't think that that is going to be an issue in general. The face is fantastic. You know what it reminds me of? And I don't know if I'm 100% imagining this or what, but it kind of feels like a green Linda Carter. I don't know. I don't know if I'm imagining that or what. She does have a lot of hair, and it's spectacular hair. It's very nicely woven. It could be softer. I wish it had a little more give, because once you get into, like, you can put her head sideways, but, like, this is what you run into. And she can also go this way, but this is what you'll run into. Not that she'll ever need to look this hard to the side in most any poses that you are going to be doing. I'm having a lot of trouble getting this. She's big, so I wasn't expecting that she was going to take that much space on the table right off the bat like that. So I had the camera closer than normal. But that's her. I think this is solid. We do have decent movement. We got the double elbow. We got the knees right here. She cannot kick her own butt, but I don't think she needs to. She can very much put her hand up into her hair or something like that, you know, kind of like something like this. She can make just about any pose you want. If I have a problem, it's here. That's her going as forward as she can go. She can go back. Going forward, she pretty much just has an absolute dead stop. So she's got literally no real ab crunch. But otherwise, she's a solid, very solid female buck, which is absolutely amazing to me because she's one of the big, bulky bodies. And I guess maybe they had to make her completely from scratch, and so they used all new material. She could be 100% fully new sculpt. I don't know, because I don't know the line well enough to make that assumption or make that claim. Let's see the butt. It's nice. For the onesie thing that she's wearing, it seems kind of real, and it doesn't go too ridiculous. It doesn't like completely pop out and be like way too much butt. I like the little cloth material piece right here, and we have it's solid. It really is. This figure will hopefully be a decently easy repaint for them to give me the Fantastic Four costume. I want the Fantastic Four costume. That's why I really want her in general, is to add her to the Fantastic Four shelf and whatnot, put her up there with those members. And so that's absolutely fantastic because, oh wow, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Because that is legitimately the only real reason I want her more than anything else. If I had one other thing that I want from this buck, I wouldn't mind matching this color tone right here and painting her all green from the feet all the way up. And I don't know what I would have to do to get like regular feet right here or whatever, or how I would even be able to do that if I can even make it happen. But my intention would be not to have her naked. Yeah, I know that sounds what it is, but I would love to make the jump rope scene like an actual scene, like build the prop myself, put the white lines in, so I don't want to see anything and I don't want it super detailed, but I kind of want to be able to recreate that like ridiculously funny moment. I just think it would be fun and stupid. That's something they're never going to do. If I ever intended to do that, I'd have to do that. But my chances of actually doing that are so ridiculously low because it's just something I would love to see and laugh about. Nothing that I'm actually willing to go out of my way to pay the money and do the work for or anything like that. So somebody out there, I'm sure, will get the idea and they will make it and it will be funny and I will look at the picture and I will laugh. But for right now, this is it. I'm 100% on board with this. I think she works very well. And now I need to know how she stands up to some other characters. Here she is alongside Power Princess, which Power Princess is big for the girls in the line. So this is actually a really nice representation to show you she's huge, which is absolutely fantastic because that is what she's supposed to be. Let's see her along some other figures. By default, if you're looking here, she scales absolutely perfectly to like McFarlane figures. So that's the Nightfall black and gray version. And she stands just as tall as Batman, maybe even the littlest bit taller because of her hair. Hard to say for sure. One of the biggest guys on my shelf, because I don't really collect like the big chunky figures, is easily the thing. And she's the littlest bit taller than he is. And I mean, it's minor. And I think it's a lot of the hair. But she's actually taller than he is. That is actually crazy to me. I want to see her next to 2 more figures. Here she is next to the Wolverine, the more recent X-Men 97 Wolverine, my favorite Wolverine I've ever seen in this entire line ever. And yeah, he's in an action pose right now, but this gives you an idea of the scaling here, because he's one of the shorter guys in all of the figures, and it is just absolutely awesome how small he is compared to her, because it really shows just how well the scaling was actually thought out here. And that is her next to the 40th anniversary Masterverse He-Man. So she stands pretty much the exact height as He-Man. Like, she scales absolutely perfectly into the Masterverse line, which is good for me because I love the Masterverse line. I don't think there's anything I can complain about here. I think that she does exactly what I need her to do. She is a big, beefy, but still very feminine She-Hulk. Absolutely amazing hair, great face. I probably could have compared her to the other She-Hulk that I have, but I don't think there's even a comparison. I don't dislike the gray She-Hulk, okay? I even already did a video on it. I talked about her. If you want to see that, that's on the channel. I'll put the annotation in there. But in terms of her, in terms of right here, right now, she is absolutely amazing. And I think that she trumps any She-Hulk that I have literally ever seen. She is the absolute gold standard She-Hulk that you can possibly own right now. Do not pass on this. If you even have a mild interest in doing like a Fantastic Four team, you gotta have her, man. You gotta have her. She is, on a personal level, She-Hulk is a member of the Fantastic Four. Like, it is undeniable. It is not like when other characters kind of step in and they're there for a while. Like, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. And first and foremost, Spider-Man will be Spider-Man. Does he know the Fantastic Four? Does he have a connection to them? Yes. Is he would I call him an absolute member? You could argue, but I would also argue that standing aside, he's not. I would tell you, however, She-Hulk identifies as a member of the Fantastic Four. Without a doubt. She is an absolute staple of the team and is very important in that aspect. I don't think you can reference the history of the Fantastic Four without seeing her. I don't think you can do it. I think you'd be doing yourself a major disservice. But, for what it's worth, I have added She-Hulk to the shelf. I could not be happier. Let me get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.